multiple dogs. So I have several opinions on that. My quickest rundown for you, and I'm really glad you brought this up, is safety first. Err on the side of what could happen when dogs are having fun with fun, interactive, food-related toys, and I keep them separate for this. If the dogs have had no history of fighting at all, I may have them in the same area doing this, but probably with some distance between them and with me strictly supervising, which just means sitting there with my eyes on them, one on each. But I really prefer that they eat in separate areas. When I have a dog visiting here, Jasper will be in one area and the other dog in another area, sometimes with a baby gate between them, depending on the scenario. So I'm big about this is an exciting thing usually, and having them eat in separate areas. You can do that in many different ways. If it's an item that, let's say, your dog's going to be pushing around the floor and interacting with a lot and it could move, use one of your long line leashes, not a retractable, can't stand those, that's another live, but a long line, an actual line that is, say, anywhere between 10 and 30 feet, can go up to 50. Have that tethered to something, heavy piece of furniture, yourself, and the other dog as well to something. You want them to have enough length to play with the toy and enjoy it and not even feel like they're on a tether, but then they are restricted from being able to get to the other dog. Any other suggestions?
Yes, definitely. So my very own dog has some resource guarding tendencies with particularly high value things like rawhides and such, but I tend to take caution with everything for a couple of reasons. One, this enrichment is supposed to be relaxing for my dog and help de-stress them. So if I force them to eat next to another dog and they are not comfortable with that, then I am not de-stressing them. So kind of defeats the whole purpose. Another is that I would actually like my dog to learn that we don't bother other dogs when they're eating, and other dogs don't bother us when we're eating. We just go off, eat our food, and keep our piece separately, and then maybe when each other are done, we can go check out what the other person had, or other dog had. Another thing is, you might not have some of these items, so you might not have a long line, you might not have a baby gate. That's totally fine. If you have 2 adult dogs, you may not have thought you needed one of those anymore. I actually just put one dog in each room and shut the door. The more trustworthy one goes in the bedroom. Or if you live with someone, somebody's in the room with one, somebody's in the room with the other. There's no need for them to be harassing each other. I don't want them to practice that behavior and feel like they need to be guarding. And at this point, because we've done it since I brought the puppy home, where we fed separately, now I don't have to put any barriers up. One of them, they see me get up, one of them runs to that side of the house, one of them runs over here, and that's where they always eat, and that's where they go. And then when they're done, they go check out each other's empty bowls and see that they don't have anything special, and then that's it. You can even use crates. Some people, I live in a studio apartment. Perhaps you don't even have a door to put the dog behind. If you have a crate, you can crate your dogs separately. That will be double duty. It will keep them safe and not research guarding, and it'll help them like their crate more. So there's always a way to kind of keep them separate. And I would say if you want your dogs to get used to eating food and sharing with other people, that's another project, and you probably want to call a trainer.
Yeah. And you just reminded me of something else too. I mean, we say this a lot, but we're going to say it over and over again, is dogs do pair things up really easily. Things we want them to pair up as far as the meanings to something, and the things we do and don't want, whichever I just said, you get me. So if you want them to pair something up, show them what you want them to pair up. Christine had a perfect example. We got in the habit of, and didn't have to be at a puppy's age, it could be as an adult. This is what we do. We go and you eat in this room and your friend eats in this room, or at this end of the studio apartment.
And I can tell you, since we did that, I brought the puppy home from the shelter. She had a lot going on. Research guarding was not a surprise. She was very stressed, but it has almost eliminated, and I did no actual behavior modification to address it. I addressed her life as a whole. Yes, correct, at the time, with that specific thing. It was decreased just by the fact that I set her up so that she didn't feel like she needed to guard it, and she had the opportunity to make those positive associations with the whole situation. So now the whole thing is not stressful to her. She knows what's going to happen. The other dog,
predictability.
And my other dog, who does not guard resources, didn't get taught to do so by my new dog. So it was really important for them to, I wanted them to never have that be a problem. And so it's sometimes something you can fix without really having your finger right on it. So
I like that. And
that's not so overwhelming necessarily.
Yeah, it's true of a lot of what we call modern training. There's so much you can put into place to create management, but also to teach them what you do want before something else happens. So why not just take the initiative, you as the adult with the bigger brain to help
Yeah, you as the human.
help your puppy child, your perma child, know what it is to expect, and that helps tremendously.
It also helps if you think of your dog as like a toddler,
Yeah.
because that's pretty accurate as far as how they're functioning, what their capabilities and limitations might be, and it makes you have a little more patience, because obviously you wouldn't necessarily expect your toddler to share perfectly, but you also wouldn't set them up to fight with other children over things all the time.
Great
You
point.
would set them up for success, show them what you wanted to do, make sure they couldn't do the thing you didn't want, and then they grow up to be a child who knows how to share.
So be the adult.
So have pity, because they're like a child.
Yeah, and they get frustrated and
Yeah.
they don't know what to do.
And it's
you don't
normal. It's normal to have to
It
deal
is.
with. So
Perfectly. Yeah.